Hi everyone, I'm Melissa Dudan. Welcome to Trending Vegas, where we are talking about the big stories flooding your social media channels in recent weeks. I'm joined by a portion of the city's social media team, Shane Savannah Preety and Natasha Shahani.
Hey.
And our special guest is local fitness expert and social media influencer, Tracy Gifford from Stay Fit Mom. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's surreal that I'm sitting here with on Trending Vegas. I can't believe it.
Well, we're happy you're here.
Oh,
so
thanks.
explain to everyone what Stay Fit Mom is.
Yeah. So Stay Fit Mom is a website. It's a blog that we started. I have a business partner who we started our blog in 2015, and we're normal moms that really struggled with our weight postpartum, and we wanted to develop a safe place for women to come that have struggles, just that like we do with tantrums and cooking our kids dinner every night, and so what we do,
your kids
right. So what we do is we provide recipes and workouts and different things like that for moms that are looking to maintain health and fitness throughout their lives. And on the side, we do some nutrition coaching, and we've just to see what it has grown to in a matter of a few short years is it's really humbling. We've worked really hard to just share that there's no difference between me as a mom working out and struggling to balance it all and you out there sitting. So yeah, I guess just perseverance and a lot of hard work and and just gratitude for our audience and just the women that have really cheered us on this whole way.
Well, we're grateful you're here with us, and we have a lot of great topics to get to. But first, we're going to start with the heartbreaking news of the fire at the Notre Dame in Paris. Such a massive fire that has devastated people around the world. Here are some of the posts we're seeing on social media. This one from Bloomberg. Latest, a French official and the Paris fire chief say they think the Notre Dame's cathedral's landmark rectangular towers have been saved from the fire that caused horrific damage. I'm not going to read all of these because in my head, the pictures really speak for themselves. It was just so sad watching this, especially when things started collapsing. Now, they did say that the stained glass survived. It's not perfect, but it survived. But the picture, these are the last two ones that people are really talking about. The altar, the cross stayed in place, and I thank God that happened. And then this one right here, someone drew a picture of Quasimodo hugging the cathedral. So such a sad, sad day when a piece of history is taken from us. Let's start with Natasha. Natasha, you've been to Paris and seen this.
Yeah, and I mean, anything historical that kind of burns down or gets ruined affects so many people. And I think what I saw on social yesterday was kind of like a wake-up call, because there were so many people sharing their experiences at the cathedral, and then there were so many people also saying, I wish I had taken that trip. I wish I had, done that. I was supposed to go and I ended up not going. And to see all of that was kind of like a wake-up call. And, I got on social and I looked up quotes, and there was one from the Hunchback movie that was like, if you're gonna just spend your life watching things happen, then watch life pass you by, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And so it was like a wake-up call, to me personally, to like go out and do those things, because you never know when one thing is gonna be gone.
Oh, my stomach just dropped. I mean, it's one of the most iconic spots in the world. And if you think of France, you think of the Eiffel Tower and then Notre Dame. One of the amazing things, though, on social media that I saw was that immediately upon hearing the news of the fire, everybody started sharing their own pictures from the spot. And so you just see how many people have been there, how many people have kept these pictures, and how much it means to everybody. And the images are so iconic. I mean, it's been there, for hundreds of years. And it's, I was glad to hear that structurally, there's enough that they can save it and rebuild it. But I mean, it's not going to be the same. So just the outpouring on social media of everybody like sharing their own personal image of the spot just really was touching, and it's going to be a huge loss.
Absolutely.
There's some parts that will never be rebuilt.
Tracy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing as I was watching my own social media feed and seeing these friends of mine that have been there, that had pictures in front of the building. And one of the things that I love watching is how our community rallies in times of tragedy. I was watching people on the news, and one resident had said, it's more than stones, it's part of myself that's burning, and you could just hear her story through that. And so watching our community, watching our country stand with France and rebuild from those ashes. And I love that the efforts to restore the cathedral are already underway. They've raised, I think, $226 million.
Right.
So that's very inspiring to me.
We wish our hearts go out to everybody in Paris and around the world. This means so much to so many people.
It's an amazing spot too. It gets 13 million visitors a year, but when you go inside, it's just like so calm and so serene and so quiet for all the people. Like outside, it's like hustle and bustle, but inside, when you step in, it's just like, it just takes your breath away.
Respectful.
Yeah.
People respect the space they're in when they're there. All right. Okay, guys, well, we're going to switch gears to the local scene. The Las Vegas ballpark is officially open, with the Aviators taking the field a few days ago. It's a beautiful ballpark with lots of perks. Here are some of the posts you may have seen, including this one that they ran on social media.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd.
All right, so we're not going to watch all of this because it's pretty long, but they got different members of the community, including the Golden Knights, to participate. And I really like this. They changed the words to "Take Me Out to Las Vegas," things like that. Here's some other posts we're seeing. We're the two best friends that anyone could have: Spruce, the Goose, and the Aviator himself. Here's a couple of the perks. We'll be cheering on the Golden Knight neighbors with games available on TVs around the ballpark. Of course, people were really worried when the seasons overlap. Here's another talker. Cool your jets poolside in one of our private cabanas this summer. You and your party can enjoy this season's home games from one of these exclusive spaces by the pool. Unfortunately, opening day at the ballpark. Glad I'm not one of the people who way overpaid for Aviators tickets tonight. 60-mile-per-hour winds, no thanks. On the bright side, if the wind is blowing out, there will be a record number of dingers. So I love the ballpark. I've passed it several times. I have not been, full disclosure. I'm gonna go in a couple weeks. I'm waiting for actually the wind to die down a little bit because my allergies are a mess. But what do you guys think about the ballpark? I think it looks absolutely phenomenal. And I will say that I'm from El Paso, and in El Paso, they have a huge stadium just like this, and it does really, really well. So as we get into this discussion, I want to talk about, do we think the ballpark is going to do really, really well? Tracy, I'll start with you. What do you think?
Yeah, gosh, I hope so. I'm, as a mom that has 3 young boys that call Las Vegas home, I love that I have another amazing event that I can do with my kids. I think that this is going to be great revenue for Las Vegas, but also just a great thing for our community. I also haven't been myself, but what I've heard from moms and friends of mine that have been are that it's very family friendly. They have a huge grass area with games, and so my kids who have a hard time sitting still will have,
I need that too.
opportunity to
Run
move around. Yeah, and I also heard that they do a family night every Sunday night. They let the kids run the bases after the game, which I just think is very, just a cool way to really bring the community in.
Absolutely. Shane?
It's an amazing facility. I mean, you said you've got one in El Paso, but do you have a pool?
No. Exactly. Las Vegas always does one better, right?
Yeah. So I gave my opening night tickets to Sue Levitt, a producer here at KCLV, so she owes me. I heard it was amazing. I have more tickets in my back pocket, but yeah, I didn't get to go to opening night.
I know.
Natasha, what are your thoughts on this?
I will hop on the bandwagon and go cheer on the team, but I'm mostly going for like the ballpark experience, because how often do you get a new stadium or ballpark? Las Vegas as an exception, since we seem to be building them nonstop. But with every new sports experience, like, we Vegas it up, and it's really cool.
All right, guys, let's move on to a much more serious issue, and that is the talk of racism in our schools. This comes after some students from Arborview High School made some racially targeted deadly threats to other students. Now people want the school district to come up with solutions, and now here's a couple of the posts from the RJ. 9 black students whose candid photos were posted to an Instagram account with the threats have been identified as victims. But Bridget Duffy, Clark County's chief juvenile prosecutor, has said every black child at Arborview is a victim. Superintendent Jara gives update on something school is doing to address parental concerns. Students involved in making threats are not returning to Arborview. Students targeted may transfer to schools without concern for eligibility in athletics and more.
They
And
don't
here's
know how to execute it. They are trained up, but don't know how to deliver. It is undeliverable.
So you can't really hear everything they're saying, but they showed up to the school district meeting and they're upset, and rightly so. When your child is at a school and their safety is called into question, I don't know how you move on from that without being this vocal about it. Here's another, this is actual from the inside the courthouse. You cannot see the guy's face because obviously he's a juvenile. A teen who admitted to making terrorist threats against black students at Arborview School to be dispositioned today. So I thought this was interesting and I didn't include it in here. But unfortunately, actually, let me go to this post from the RJ. CCSD trustees in a statement say they are disappointed in the hurtful terminology that trustee Daniel Ford used last night when discussing racial tensions at Arborview High School. I'm not going to say what she said because I don't want to repeat it. But she used a very derogatory, a racially, I don't know the right way to say it. It's the wrong word to say. And she used it at the school board meeting, and it enraged these parents who are victims and the kids who are victims. So just as a mom, let me go ahead and start with you, Tracy. What do you think about this? What does the school district need to do? What are you seeing on social from people?
One of the things that I think that can be addressed here is that social media is so powerful. And I think everybody sitting at this table can attest to the fact that adults, the things that they comment on or post, the audacity and the cruelty that can come out of adults' mouths in a post or a comment really take me aback. And so I feel like there's so much bravery and audacity that comes from sitting safely behind a screen. And I always try to convey to my kids at home how powerful what I do really is. I'm on social media, and I know not just a couple of people, but thousands of people are looking at what I am saying. And so I think if adults have a hard time doing this, there's no hope for our teens.
Wow, that's sad. I mean, it's scary, but it's a very realistic view. Shane, your thoughts?
I mean, I wish this was, just a school district-wide issue, but I think it's more of a national issue right now, where we're seeing a rise in hate crimes. We're seeing a rise in racist and sexist and all kinds of issues, especially on social media. And there's a study done recently about how negativity is very contagious on social media. If you have,
It really is.
let's say, the president tweets something positive, it might get some traction, but when he tweets something negative, you have the people that agree with him retweeting it, commenting, but then also the people that disagree with him also commenting. So it's like a multiplier effect, even more than usual, because you have both sides coming in and compounding, and that spreads the message further. So social media is really bad and dangerous in that regard, in that negativity seems to move faster and spread farther because more people are participating in it, whether it's good or bad, whether you agree with it or disagree with it. So I think just the climate and the lack of civility is a real problem.
Natasha?
From a city perspective, once the news caught on about both incidents, we got tagged in posts. The mayor did, the council people did. So it was something, it is technically a school district issue, but you're right, it is a community issue. And people involved and concerned parents are looping in every person they can to get it addressed. And, it's just sad because our kids can't even go to school safely anymore. And I don't even have kids, but I feel bad for all the parents terrified every day what's gonna happen to my child at school. And this is prime example, and it is so disheartening.
Unfortunately, from my point of view, I look at it and I think what does the district do? How do they fix this? Because this is what they're being taught at home. And this is translating into the school district, and now it becomes the school district's problem. But how much power over social media does the school district have? It's really just, we can train them in schools, we can teach about racism and equality in schools and that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, it falls on the parents at home to also, what are you teaching your kids at home? Like you talked about the power of social media, Tracy. Are you teaching your kids about that power and about right from wrong? And so I really do feel bad for the school district because they have an uphill battle and no one knows. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just what is going to work.
One thing that I really want to share real quick is that I love Las Vegas. I was born and raised here. I've never left. I'm a product of the Clark County School District myself. And I think it's unfortunate that these incidences come up far too frequently in the news media, but there's so much good. There's so much good happening in our schools, and I think I remember growing up and seeing like these terrifying news stories. One that stands out really strongly in my mind is there was a rapist, and he was coming through the sliding glass doors, and I thought, because I saw that on the news, that was going to happen to me. I thought that was happening to everybody, and all girls that were 13 were surely to be raped, and this was going to happen. Right. And I lived in this perpetual state of fear, and I think that, yes, I want my kids to be safe. Yes, I want them to be smart. I want them to be alert, but God has way too much planned for them to live in a perpetual state of fear.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point.
That's really the skewed viewpoint of media, is that if nothing's happening, it's not news. Right. So you're only hearing about things if something's going wrong or something possibly is going really right, but usually it's something's going wrong, and then that tends to distort your view of the world because you're only getting the information when things are going wrong, because otherwise it's not news and you're not hearing about it.
Absolutely. All good points, guys. All right, now we have to talk about rideshare apps, Uber and Lyft. They have come under extreme scrutiny in recent weeks. We know one girl was killed after getting into a car she thought was her Uber, but Lyft is getting a lot of backlash after one woman spoke out about her experience. And Lyft, well, they haven't said very much about it. Here's a look. Now, this is one of the original tweets. It says, "Last night I took a Lyft home from my friend's bachelorette. It was a line, so there were two people in the back seat when I got in. Once they were dropped off, the driver immediately leaned over to me and asked, 'Do you have a boyfriend?' I paused and didn't respond." Now, I didn't post this, but he goes on to say, "Is he home? Do you live alone?" And the back doors were locked. She couldn't get out. She had to pry it. She eventually got out. But she contacted Lyft with the problem, and Lyft offered her a $5 credit when her drivers locked his door and repeatedly asked her if her boyfriend was home. Get on it, Lyft, before it happens again. So they offered her a $5 credit, and then they said, "Don't worry, we'll never let him pick you up again." That's not enough. That's not enough. And Lyft did get slammed for this all over social media. Lyft used to be the safe option for women because they hired more female drivers, but it's become much the same as Uber with identical non-policies for taking action on unacceptable behavior. You need to do better for women, Lyft and Uber. So this is a fear of mine, and I really do think, does Nevada have any policies on Uber, Lyft? Because I would like to do some sort of password. You can check the license plates, you can, ask the driver's name, but Uber, Lyft, send me a password that the driver has to tell me before I get in. But then background checks on these drivers.
I overheard somebody saying on the TV it is a nationwide issue, and it is. I think it almost has to be addressed federally.
Yeah, that's a good point. Shane?
Yeah, I mean, Lyft did say that they're instituting their new safety features where they'll do continuous background checks instead of just the one they do at the beginning. So they'll continuously monitor for any criminal activity on the background checks, and increased verification of identification for drivers, and along with record keeping. I mean, it's just, it's a hard issue too, because they're still working out whether drivers are considered employees or independent contractors. So, I think with here's a $5 credit, with things like that, the companies are saying, well, it's not really our problem because these are independent contractors, they're not our employees. And they really need to take more ownership of that, because this is really, besides the devastating loss of human life and, the danger to people, this is really bad for your brand if you're not taking your customers seriously.
I mean, but we're also talking about the he said, she said factor. How do you know that a passenger or a driver is not lying about a situation because they got mad at a charger? I don't know. Tracy, your thoughts?
I was just thinking that Lyft definitely did not handle the situation well. It was handled poorly. But I also don't want to detract from the service that Uber and Lyft has provided. Growing up, getting a cab was my only option. And I love that we have affordable, convenient options through Uber and Lyft. And I think, it's market competition, it's choice, it's capitalism, the principle of it. So I love that these companies provide jobs. I saw one of the things I Googled was want to start a small business, drive a Lyft, and the small business owner in me loves that part of what it's done. And I think that rather than focus on how disappointed we are in how they handle this situation, one of the things that we need to do is maximize our safety. What are the things, like we were talking about, what can we do to make sure that things like this don't happen again? And I know that Uber protocol is to make sure that you're checking that license plate. You make the car make and model. You check to make sure that the driver's photo matches what shows up in the app. And I think that we really need to trust our intuition. If something doesn't feel right, then we don't get in the car.
Right. And one thing that I do, I think it works. I've never heard anybody else doing it. When I get into an Uber or Lyft, I actually call my husband or I call my mom or a friend, and I stay on the phone with them the entire ride so that they know if anything's happening to me or, just it's a little safety thing that I do.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Very good topics. Tracy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right, the weather is finally starting to warm up here in town, and that means pool time is coming. The city is looking for some responsible lifeguards. We'll tell you how you can apply when we come back.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
Welcome back, everyone. It's that time of year when the city looks for responsible lifeguards to watch over the city pools. Rachel Harmon from Aquatics joins me now to talk about the qualifications and the application process. Thanks so much for being here, Rachel.
Well, thank you for having me, Melissa.
So this is an important time of year for you guys because obviously gearing up for a busy pool season. What exactly are you all looking for?
We're looking for approximately 100 lifeguards.
100?
Yes.
Wow.
As we do have 4 additional facilities opening within the city of Las Vegas starting June 1st. We have a total of 6 swimming pools. We do need 100 staff, certified staff. We will certify them. They can take our class ranging from $35 to $125, 25 and a half hours of lifeguard training, and they'll get certified in lifeguarding, CPR, first aid, and AED administration.
Wow, so it's like a week-long course.
Yes.
And it's basically you can get everything done that you're going to need for the job.
Absolutely.
There.
And if you don't have time to come see us for the week-long course, it meets on a weekend also. Friday through Sunday. On Sunday, you'll know if you have a job with the city of Las Vegas and if you pass the class.
That is so interesting that you guys offer this because, a lot of times, I know in years past in other cities, they say, well, you got to get your CPR, so you have to go to the Red Cross, or you'd have to get some other certification, you have to go to another agency.
Yes.
And it's a lot of trying to find the right classes and which dates. So the fact that this is done by the city, like here it is.
Here it is.
Wow.
And
What made you guys do that?
We realized that we were short of lifeguards. There were other entities certifying guards, but the guards were working for the hotels. Yeah. We need guards to work for the municipalities. So let's teach the classes, let's hire them out of the class, interview them. Once they pass their swim test and the class, they got a job with us.
Tell me a little bit about the requirements for a lifeguard. And when I say requirements, I mean more of the responsibility. What kind of attitude do you need from these lifeguards? Because your child's life is in their hands.
Lifeguarding is the only certification that certifies 15-year-olds to watch over hundreds of bodies in the swimming pool. You have to be fit, you have to be positive, and you have to be energetic and vigilant, of course. Lifeguards are always vigilant. You're always watching the water. Only time you're not is when you're on break in the lifeguard office.
As the aquatic specialist, how much do you oversee these lifeguards to make sure that they're doing a good job?
Oh, we oversee them daily. Everything from checking the schedules that our pool managers complete, making sure our instructors are assigned for the right Learn to Swim classes. We do training for our lifeguards every other month throughout the year and every week throughout the summer. So we oversee their 2-hour trainings. They get in the water. They work out. We do mock rescues, so they're on top of their skills. Because as a lifeguard, a good lifeguard, you shouldn't be rescuing people every day.
Right.
So we do want you to brush up on your skills, and we go over that at trainings. But good lifeguards stay dry. You're enforcing rules, telling kids stop the hazardous behavior so that they can have fun and be safe.
So in addition to the certification process that you all do additional trainings during the summer and during the year?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We do additional in-service training so that they can stay on their toes and stay fit.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So how do people sign up for this certification process? And then we'll talk about how they apply for the actual jobs.
You can sign up at Municipal Swimming Pool downtown on Las Vegas Boulevard in Bonanza, or at Pavilion Pool in Summerlin by Palo Verde High School. Sign up for the class, receive your informational sheet. The informational sheet will tell you what your homework is, how to purchase your books. You do have a lifeguard manual that you'll need to get, and your pocket mask so that you're prepared for CPR day when you practice your breathing emergencies.
Absolutely.
And then once you sign up for the class, we'll email you the link so that you'll go to the Red Cross website and do some pre-course work, and then see us in the classroom and in the water.
Absolutely. And then as far as a job,
yes,
how do you apply for that position, for your 100 positions you need filled?
Please apply online at www.lasvegasnevada.gov/jobs, and you're going to apply for the summer positions: lifeguard, water safety instructor. We have cashiers, we have pool maintenance workers, we have locker room monitors. We're hiring everyone, Melissa. We want this summer to start off on a great note June 1st.
So minimum wage, or does it vary based on experience?
As of June 1st, our lifeguards will be receiving a $1 raise. So instead of $9 an hour, that's out the door. All staff will be starting at $10 an hour for lifeguards.
Wow, okay.
Yes, that was great.
And I guess in terms of if you've already had this certification, do you have to get the certification again, or are you good to go?
Certification lasts for 2 years. So if you do have it, call me now. Sign up now. Apply for a job now. If you do have it, that's awesome. We'd love to have you.
Awesome. Rachel, great information. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Have a good summer.
You too. All right, guys, when we come back, a look at some of the favorite viral videos we're loving here at KCLV.
Dad's home!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Well, with the Golden Knights in the playoffs, there are a lot of fun videos out there, but huge props to our social media team for creating this one, which is, in my opinion, one of the best. Here's a look. So obviously, what a great idea to have Marc-Andre Fleury out there just destroying a shark, and a little later on, he just gets more and more aggressive. How did you guys come up with this?
Well, we were brainstorming. You know, we were very active last year during the playoffs, and we wanted a different spin on it. So Jen convinced Shane to film this video, and we were already kind of filming with the dogs of Instagram, so it worked out.
We were doing a dog park video at the time, and so he showed up in his jersey, and we had that's the KCLV shark.
Yep.
That we like to pass. Right now it's destroyed, but
It's gone. Sorry.
Well, it was such a great video, so congratulations on that one, guys. All right, guys, now it's my pick. This one, I just can't even imagine. I'm just not even, just here.
Right? Yeah. Roll this tape, because we saw a few angry iguanas. Be careful where you go on vacation. Those are iguanas. Look, they're getting a little sun. They're going out. Oh, no. They're just battling.
I can't watch this.
I can't even imagine being in a resort pool and a bunch of iguanas just are, look at, I mean, I can't with this video. So I love this video. I laughed. I watched it over and over again. One of the anchors from the Today Show was like, I'd rather be next to a great white shark. And it's like, okay, well, I don't know about
Who knew
that.
they could swim so fast, too?
I wanted to swim at all.
Yeah, what makes them? I mean, maybe they wanted the margaritas and just they were hot. I don't know. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Thank you for watching at home. And remember, you can get in on the conversation. Just follow us at City of Las Vegas and use the hashtag TrendingVegas. You can also find us on YouTube, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you next time.